Hello everybody and welcome back in a way to Amnesia, but not Amnesia the Doctor sent. This is Amnesia Justine, and I'm very excited for this. You can think of it as like, well, if you know what Amnesia custom stories are, Justine is like Frictional Games' very own custom story, and a very good one at that. I love this DLC, I believe it is. I think it's fantastic and I'm looking forward to getting right into it. First of all, we have some text to read, so I'll be reading it as per usual. Good of you to come. This time it will be a trial of character. The previous game was kind of like a trial of character in a sense, so I get what it means though, as you'll soon see what it means when I start playing. Bear in mind, death is final, nothing will be saved. This is in reference to the fact that, as it states, there is no saving in this game, and if you die, you're booted to your desktop. So it's pretty intense, it adds a lot of fear to it. Also, side note, it is mad hot in my room right now. I've taken my jacket off, and I have my window open and I'm still dying of heat right now, which is perfect condition to be playing this game in. Come on, wake up, you need to get going. Yeah, so this is gonna be an intense one for sure. However, it's very short, it doesn't last that long. I think it averages on 30 minutes. Though knowing how much I tend to talk, it'll probably be an hour long. Already we have a lovely menu here. Nothing much to note besides the wheel, which wheels are important, you'll see why later on. Classic singular born in classic Amnesia fashion. What looks to be an empty canvas? And an empty bottle. I don't think there's really anything deep to take in here, it's just really cool scenery. I don't think the area is that important either. Excuse me, the mic is directly in my face and I can't see anything. I'm just gonna adjust it. Alright, I still can't see 3/4 of my screen. It's the best I can get it though. The sun's in the way right now, but I do believe I just saw an abomination behind that door. Looked like a naked man. I couldn't quite make it out, but as you know, I've already played this game, so I do know what it looks like. Right off the bat, I believe that was different music playing, so they made new music for this. The menus here, though, are exactly the same. Still, I appreciate the new tune that played in the background there. Alongside that, our main character is not Daniel, it's somebody else. And they appear to be weaker. I'm not able to drag this bed. I don't know if that's because they're weaker or this bed is just stapled to the ground. And up there we have the quintessential lantern. Important to every Amnesia game, but I can't pick it up.
Bienvenue. You are now listening to the sound of my disembodied voice. It will serve you no purpose to look for me, for this is a voice from the past. I bid you welcome to my cabinet of perturbation. It is my study of the human psyche, specifically yours. A set of recordings have been prepared to chaperone you through the chambers ahead. There are a few parts to this study, and it is up to you, not only to pass, but to figure out what elements are important. Please go on. Move into the next chamber. Just remember, they can all be saved. There is always a way.
So, as our friend here states, there is people to save, and this game has 3 different endings, all tied to an achievement. Good ending, or not good, but like a save everyone ending. Also like a evil ending, neutral ending, good ending. I'll be starting with the evil one, much to my pain. I do have to get them all, so I will have to kill everyone first. It's the easiest one, which you'll see why during the course of the gameplay, and it's also why the game states this is a trial of character. I kinda messed up at the beginning of this video, but what I was trying to say is that with Daniel it kinda felt like a trial of character, but in a very subtle way. The entire time you're trying to be a better you than you were before you took the amnesia potion. But much more subtly than this. This is very... It's an in-your-face disgrace. You have to... The choice to save or kill somebody is directly in front of you the entire time. So this is 100% a trial of character. I want to see if our hand is any different. I mean, that still looks like Daniel's hand as the icon there. But we are clearly not Daniel. Goodness me. So there is no longer any shadow. We aren't being hunted by the shadow anymore, so instead they're using these very deep and menacing moans, distant screams, and the sounds of rocks shifting, so it's basically like hearing the shadow scream. But I actually think it's much more haunting. Yeah. That is why the wheel is important. The creatures in this particular game all have a wheel around their neck. Now, it's quite messed up, but the purpose of that wheel is to make it so that they can never get comfortable going to sleep. Or at least I believe that's the purpose of the wheel. It's constantly there to disrupt sleep and just make you feel overall really, really bad. I absolutely love intaking the atmosphere of these games. And as usual, we continue with very well designed rooms. Ladonna makes a return. Hopefully I won't have to use it like I did in the last series, where I got a bit cheeky, a bit risky. So I think it goes without saying, but this room must have belonged to a musician. We've got a, what looks to be a violin. It could be a cello, but it's too small to be a cello. So I'm pretty sure this is a violin. Alright, our main character, she can indeed move beds. I guess that other one was just stapled to the ground. She has a different jumping sound to Daniel, which I'm very pleased about. Also, as the name suggests, we are yet again playing as an amnesiac. Nobody go in that room. I should have warned you before coming here, in case someone's playing along and they decided to not follow along exactly and go in that room first. Then you're probably hiding from a vicious monster right now. Don't go in there. Big mistake. I should have said that at the beginning. We'll worry about that guy on the bench later. the broken chair and obviously sounds of sawing. This implies a carpenter, I think. They were coughing a lot, so whatever they were sawing must have had a fine, dusty, like a fine, dusty substance sprayed in their face during the cutting process. That sounds like wood to me. When I first played this, though, I thought that was the sound of somebody being cut up, because Amnesia has traumatized me. And every time I hear cutting sounds, that's what my brain goes to. But no, that's simply just a carpenter. I would call that budging. I think you mean it's locked, or something like that. It can't be locked, don't be stupid, there's no lock on it. I guess that is the right thing to say, but it just feels weird. But anyways, underneath there is where we saw our creature. So, it's a good thing that thing won't budge. If you're wondering why I'm hugging the walls like Pink Panther, it's because if you go to that door, he starts speaking and I don't want to hear his voice lines, not yet. Obviously, a sportsman belonged in this room. And a good one at that, because they won. And of the tennis variety too, I assume. Or maybe some, whatever uses this. It looks a bit, the handle looks a bit long to be a tennis bat. No, I'm stupid, that's definitely tennis. And they were kind enough to leave behind a note as well. There's going to be a lot of... Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to mention. This takes place in France, I believe. Now, the previous game took place in Germany. But Daniel was British. I believe this game is consistent. It takes place in France and the main character is French. So there'll be a lot of words I will struggle to pronounce or say wrong, much like in the first game, where I couldn't say the German words. Justine, my love, I know I am not as talented as Melo, or as strong as Basile, but I am certain my love is truer. Do not my scars tell you so? I will continue to cut myself as long as it pleases you. Gracious. I would even kill Basile if you wish. Goodness me. I know you say you like it, but he is hurting you. I will trick him to consume the bromide. Bromide? Poor Justine. I will help. Just ask me to help. Alois. Interesting. This guy clearly was very love crazy. I mean, you didn't need me to say that, you can see it for yourself. He was very crazy in general too. He was not all left, that's for certain. He needed help. Obsessive and... He seemed to disregard himself in some way as well. He took Blinded by Love to a whole nother level. And the final door of the day.
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name.
This appears to be the cell of a holy man, a priest. Alright, some things to note here, so let's see if I can remember correctly. Over in that room we had a musician, and over in that room we had a sportsman. Both of them had success in their field, as they both sounded both quite good, and they had a positive response to their performance. In the middle we had a simple carpenter working very hard, clearly not having a good time. He was constantly choking. And this one is the most interesting. We have what seems to be a priest doing prayer, but I believe he was running at the start. And he sounded in huge distress. Something to keep in mind for sure, all of this. Our final cell visit for the day will be that one over there. We'll go to that one next. But before we meet our unfortunate friend on the bench, we have to get up there. Well, we don't have to get up there, but I want to get up there because there is something of value. And I never pass up on something of value. And you'll likely have to bear with me a moment here. I'm not very experienced in the ways of Amnesia parkour. I have no idea how you're supposed to know that there's an item up there. There is no tell. I would say the only tell is that is the only place with boxes hidden up high. And so some goofball might think, oh well, I wonder what's up there. I'll just stack a bunch of stuff and get up there. But there is no other hint or sign that there's something up there. And I would consider it quite important too, because it's an item you need to get more lore later on. Well, it's not that important, it's optional, that's for sure, but you know me, I love me some good lore. And also defying physics, it's in my top 10 favorite things to do. You'll find it just over here. It is a wax cylinder. So I'm pretty sure I don't need to spell it out to you. This will be needed for a empty... Oh, goodness me, what are they called again? Oh no, I'm stupid. Oh no. You know what, guys? Forget I said anything. Just ignore I started saying anything. I'm just gonna conveniently move on to the next subject, which is me stacking this up, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing this. Evil creature friend comes through this door. I'm gonna see if I can block him. No guarantees this will work, but couldn't hurt to try. You know, I know they're quite strong too, so a little bit of reinforcement couldn't hurt. But yeah, I'll show you what the wax cylinder for is in a bit. Phonograph, there we are. Thank you so much, game. Yes, we need it for a phonograph. I swear I knew their name before, I just simply forgot. And couldn't remember it for the life of me. Right, now the hard part comes.
Whoever you are, if you could help me, I would be much obliged.
I would absolutely love to. I don't even know... Could this maybe be the priest? I'm hearing bells. I don't know. I suppose... Let's just get it over with. So, you need to get up there. Pulling this will bring the ladder down, but unfortunately another thing it will do is this.
Please be reasonable. You don't have to do this.
I'm afraid I do. Achievements are on the line. Okay, saying it out loud, admittedly I don't have to do this, but I'd very much like to.
Please, help me.
Another time, buddy. Another time. I mean, at least it was fast, right? That went pretty fast. I mean, the life lost his body. The soul left his body pretty fast. Alright, now that I thoroughly feel like crap, before we climb this ladder, we need to pay our friend a visit. We'll be opening this door because there is a note in here. You can see it right across there. That little rascal's hiding in the perfect place. Okay, let's hope our barricade holds strong. I know I don't deserve it for what I just did to that poor man, but please. We'll give this a good read beforehand. Le 22 Avril 1858. So that's also a thing worth mentioning. Is this after Dr. Sin or before? Where's the timeline? I'm interested to find out. 1858 I think was before Dark Descent. I'm pretty sure Dark Descent takes place somewhere in the late 1880s. Salutation, Inspector Marriott of the Sûreté Nationale. Oh, goodness save me. As you very well know, the Chief of Police in Calais has turned down my request to pursue Justine Flobel for stealing my son away. Ever since their affair started, Alois, my son, has forsaken his duties to his family and failed to pursue his career. Since the law seems unable to find a crime within the realm of Mademoiselle Justine's actions, I will ask you to receive Dr. Victor Fournier later this week. He's a respectable alienist, an expert in the human psyche, and he believes he may have found a legal way to incarcerate her. If he is able to diagnose her as a hysteric, it would provide you an ample excuse to have her locked up. I trust you and your agency will not turn us down. Cordelman Lucien Racine. Very interesting. This once again mentions Alois. Flobel is a great last name. Very, very interesting. It seems Alois's life went downhill upon meeting Justine, that's for sure. Or at the very least, his mental state went downhill, which would lead to his life going downhill. A new plan too, so... yeah, obviously he's tried many times before to get this situation sorted. Alright, it pains me that I seem to have digested everything about this note, because that means I have to put it down and meet face to face with my attacker. A little bit of news for you. The monsters speak English. So, which is weird, because I believe we're in France. I don't know why they speak English, but when we turn around, I'm going to be hiding. I mean, it would be... well, first I'm going to hide, then I'm going to have it chase me, because I think it says different things while it's chasing you. I know, it's risky, and I'm doing another no-death run, so that's ridiculous of me to do so, but it's all worth it for the voice lines. It'd be in my best interest to hide as well. I'm something special, I am. Oh, goodness gracious me. It doesn't come through that door. It leaves through that door. Oh, I'm something else. I haven't locked the creature out. I've locked me in with the creature. You probably didn't see in the beginning, but this thing... I believe this is Alois's cell. All we heard was a door opening. Well, I feel stupid now. It was actually behind the door. Okay, my bad. All I've done is... oh, I feel like a poopy head for that. Now you guys won't get to hear the voice lines. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick jump cut and move myself back here because I did actually lock the creature out. My plan worked a little too well. The creature saw the blockade and, well, he didn't want to mess with it. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Gosh, I'm so sorry. Alrighty everybody, we are back. I had to perform that unfortunate act once more, and the ladder is now down. And I have collected the wax cylinder. Nearly forgot the laudanum. Glad I was doing a recap. Nearly forgot the no. Okay. Glad I was doing a recap. Alright then. All that's left now is to open the gate and let the beast in. I've done more than block the door. I've done less than block the door. I've opened the door. The creature is now free to roam in here. And now we can finally hear those voice lines. I'm sorry about that once more. I thought for sure it would still just break the door down, but I guess it's not about that life. It doesn't want to see me that bad. What in the world? So it didn't come from the door. I did lock myself in with it. How did it leave? How did it get in? No, stupid. Hey. Yes, it is. What? Stupid, get back here. Oh! 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 We're getting out of here. We are discussing this. This is not a matter of discussion anymore. I wanted you guys to hear what he says when he's chasing you, but that is not a matter of... We're ignoring that. We're moving on. So, some interesting things to know. I believe he was saying things like, how could this happen? Is that you I hear? I didn't get to showcase it much, but basically he has very, like, pained voice lines. He's desperate. He has desperation in his voice. He's practically begging to know where you are. He's excited at the mere sound of you. And despite the fact that he didn't walk to my location or anything, I believe while he's chasing you... I really don't remember what he says. I'm sorry. There are videos online, though, that you can watch that showcase their voice lines. I'm astonished at their ability to disappear, though. He disappeared in this room without touching the blockade. I recall in the last series I said something like the grunts are all Houdini. That stands still here. The suitors are Houdini as well. I feel like passing out after that. Goodness me. Why does it sound like he's behind me? Don't play these games. I'm not playing these games with you. Knock it off. Don't... I've got tears in my eyes. He's not behind me, crawling after me in the tunnels, is he? I've stated it before and I'll state it again. Don't play these games. That was terrifying. That was actually legitimately terrifying. That was a great scare. Alright everybody, so before I listen to this, I just want to mention one last thing. The sound design in this is incredible. It legitimately sounded like the suitor was right behind me the entire time as I was crawling through the ventilation system? Whatever that is. Crawl space. I don't know what you would call it. It's definitely not a ventilation system, but then again, saying that, this kind of does look like a vent gate. But point is, crawling through that and hearing the shooter behind me, ugh, freaked me out big time. Now, let's finally listen to this here phonograph and see what reward we have gotten.
Speak into the phonograph, Basile, mon chéri.
What did you put into the wine?
Absinthe, silly Basile. Strong men like you don't drink wine. Wine is for helpless women, like myself.
My head. What is this thing? Get me out. I'm not up for your games.
No. You have to say it first. How beautiful am I?
Plenty. Now let me out of this thing.
No. That is not what you say.
Your beauty is blinding. Ah! My eyes! What have you done to my eyes? Justine! This isn't funny! You've blinded me!
Ha ha! Can't catch me now.
I'll kill you, you whore!
Very interesting, so... First of all, the wine. Always the wine. What is it with these Amnesia games and wine? And also, alongside that, it's important to note that he lost his eyes. The shooter does not have any eyes. So keep that in mind. And I love how outrageously evil Justine is. She's like a straight up cartoon villain out here with her voice, the way she speaks, the way she acts, and what she does. She is... I don't know exactly what the word would be, but... like, she is hysterically evil. My instinct tells me to go into the door with the blood leading to it. Actually, what's this about blood? It starts out of nowhere. Follows into this, well, it looks like a torture room. Let's see here. Can I read this bottle? Absolutely not. It has an ace, like the ace symbol on the top. And writing, it looks like it starts with an A, ends with an E. Abstain, maybe? Is this that stuff? I really do not know. Here we have what looks like a device to keep someone trapped. Got some grisly imagery here. Now, we heard a, like, sizzling sound when the eyes were poked out. Perhaps this may be the very thing used to take the eyes out. What am I saying? There's no way this was used to take the eyes out, but maybe. I feel like it's possible that she used an iron poker. What am I saying? The image states it right here. It's the same thing. So that's what she did to take the eyes out. That is messed up. We have a fireplace here too. Ooh, and a note, my favorite. Were there rats in Amnesia the Dark Descent? I do not think so. Looks like we found another Justine exclusive. Come on, little buddy. I don't bite. Or maybe I do. Depends on who I am. I don't remember. travesty at the conservatory. Many Parisians had gathered last night to enjoy the performance of violin virtuoso Malo Davigny. It was to be the grand premiere of several new arrangements of songs by fellow composer Georges Bizet. But the evening took an unexpected turn. Interesting. Young Malo Davigny turned up visibly intoxicated. His violin cried as the bow was jerked across the strings. The audience seemed forgiving at first, but started to boo the man off the stage as he defaced the beloved song La Rose Le Belle. The stress apparently got the best of the young musician as he threw his bow to the audience and finally collapsed. Mademoiselle Justine Flobel, who was according to rumours romantically involved with Monsieur Davigny, looked quite amused by the event and had her two friends, Basile Gurux and Alois Racine, carry him off the stage. The evening was saved by other musicians at the conservatory who was able to perform a most delightful impromptu concerto in Malo Davigny's absence. The audience showered their saviours with praise and calls for encore, were awarded with spectacular pieces by both Offenbach and Chopin. Fascinating. Whoever wrote this newspaper article certainly had a way with words. Cried as the bow was jerked across the strings. This is no doubt Justine's doing. Seems like we had quite a bizarre love. What would you even call this? It's not necessarily a love square. There are 4 people involved in this relationship. I can't imagine the stress he must have felt and that Milo must have felt in the moment, but also afterwards, especially afterwards when he woke up from his drunk stupor. However, knowing Justine, it's possible he woke up in a place so horrid he didn't have time to lament his performance. What a nightmare. Isn't that right, little buddy? Who's a cute little guy you are. Okay, I think I'm scaring him. I better back off. Great. I always wanted to hear more supervillain notes.
Congratulations for coming this far. I'm so excited for you. I do hope you managed to save Monsieur Fournier. He was a friend and a colleague of my papa, you know. Friendly fellow, a real bon garçon, but frail of mind. He puts up an impressive front, but it is all an act, I assure you. Please, go on. We are just getting started.
Very interesting. Wait a minute. Oh gosh, I would slap myself. I walked the wrong way. I must have followed the blood trail. What's wrong with me? I just smell blood and I follow it. I'm a shark in the water, man. I'm afraid our nightmare's just beginning though. As now we enter the library. Good things don't happen in libraries. Oh, dearest me, what is this FBS? I'll be back momentarily, guys. Alright, I'm back, guys. It seems to have fixed itself. I'm guessing the game couldn't handle the stone mannequins. To be fair, I can't handle them either. Let's hear what this supervillain has to say.
Next piece, you should be looking for some divine inspiration. Time to delve into your spiritual side. What do you see? Is the man begging for mercy, or is he being blessed? Perhaps both. Father used to say there were no right answers. Have the light guide you.
She says peace, and I'm guessing she is referring to the tests that she's putting our MC through. Oh, Tinderbox make a return. If that's the case, then... well, she's obviously quite messed up, but I feel I needn't say that. She has no remorse or feelings towards any of this by the looks of things. It's just occurred to me. They gave us a lantern, but they might never give us oil. Maybe they just don't want you to see the hand, because they couldn't be bothered to model a different hand. We'll see, though. I'm placing my bets now, and I think it's just gonna be another Daniel hand. A note? Ooh, Herbert! 12th of January, 1839. Dear Monsieur Florbel. Monsieur? Oh, this is the father. I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. I am so sorry to hear about your daughter Justine's unruly behavior. Rest assured that this does not diminish your work, nor does it make your idea of the natural developing mind less appropriate as a field of study. I have met plenty of scholars here in London enthralled by your hypotheses and stated that it could be one of the most important ideas of the modern era. It has been suggested that the mind is not only molded by experience, but could also be stricken with disease without physiological sign. Perhaps this line of thinking could be applied to your child. I wish I could devote my letter to consolidation. However, I write to you with a request. I require passage into Algeria, and I need Frenchmen of great standing to vouch for my person. I am certain the name of Florbel would greatly speed the process and grant me the permits I require. It pains me to ask this of you in your time of distress, but if you could suffer any inconvenience, I would greatly be in your debt. Yours sincerely, Herbert. Herbert is a... well, he's a... what's the word I'm looking for here? He's a wordsmith, this guy. He's very clearly a fancy man by the looks of things. He's not using big words necessarily, he's just so well spoken. And also interesting, no surprise though, it seems Justine's getting into a lot of trouble. It's messing with the father. I'm not exactly sure what she could be doing, but it's not good. I'm willing to bet that Justine is either a sociopath or a psychopath. It was great to see Herbert again, by the way. And it seems that Monsieur Florbel did grant his access to Algiers. Very nice of him. And yet another law. It's my lucky day. And a rotten apple. Great. Well, that's a dry title. Results. Results for what? Give me more information. The tests have been going well. The most long-term, and in a sense the most promising one, is the light box. Having Justine choose a slide, essentially a mood, for every day is a great way to see the larger overall development of her mind. She definitely reads things into the slides I had not foreseen. Her remarkable imagination turns the characters into just about anything, and she is able to effortlessly reduce all her experiences into one of the 4 character slides. Oh, How's about giving me a comma here, folks? Yeesh. All of that in one breath. Maybe there was a comma and I just didn't see it. Anyways, enough complaining. Using the puzzle lock has proven more difficult as she tends to always choose 2 slides with characters facing the same way. I have asked her why this is, but she doesn't seem to fully understand what I am asking. Facing the same way. Interesting, I'm gonna be using this as I need a reference to make that note more impactful. My father was clearly doing... My father seemed to be a... maybe not a therapist, but definitely someone that works in a psychological field that may or may not be a therapist. And he's trying to psychologically evaluate his own daughter. I'll be going in there in a moment. Reason I just closed the door is because our next unfortunate victim resides within there. Well, this obviously has a door behind it. There's light coming out from underneath too. This is the slide. I believed I need 4 slides. So I'll come back here once I've got the 4th one. I don't normally search bookshelves quite so thoroughly, but I'm looking for something of value. Oh, I found it. Goodness me, that's well hidden. So, this here is a secret note. You get an achievement for picking it up, and when you see the achievement image, you'll be quite fascinated. This is a reference to another game. I'm sure you'll recognize it once I pick up the note. Shipment slip. Congratulations on your fine purchase. The Lumina box, projection box with an accompanying puzzle lock is the pride of our company and our greatest seller. Having earned your patronage, we would like to share with you privileged insight on our newest workings, the span space device. This new machine is unlike anything you have ever witnessed. Come and visit our testing facilities and try our state-of-the-art inventions in a safe environment. Please write your name and address at the back of our slip and mail it back to us at AS Inc., Boston, Massachusetts. Now AS, what does that stand for, you wonder? Aperture Science. I'm pretty sure this is a reference to Portal 2. This is mind-boggling because that means Amnesia takes place in the same universe as the Half-Life universe. Which is outstanding, but I think that's looking too deep into it. I don't think the universes are connected. I just think it's but no, this is... Oh, it hurts my head to think about it. Although it's called the Span Space Device, I don't know if Aperture Science called it that. So it is just a reference. Still though, it's an amazing reference. You also need that note to count towards the total collect all notes achievement, I'm pretty sure. Portal is another game series I fancy checking out on on my channel. I believe this is Justine when she was younger. And this is Justine as she is now. And here we have the guy sitting behind there, or laying behind there. And there we have a guy of the image, an image of the guy strapped up in there, which I won't be going towards because it's a little too detailed. Justine, age 8. Today I played outside with Clarice. We saw a bird pick at a snail. It carried it off and landed on the lawn fence. The snail had a shell and it cracked. Clarice cried and I comforted her. The new maid heard us and came out and scolded Clarice for playing with me. The bird took off into the air. Today I was the one with open arms. So she's dryly stating the events of what happened. Clarice, for some reason crying over a snail. Big heart, I suppose. It seems that she wasn't allowed to play with people, maybe because of her status. That couldn't have been good for her psyche. That wouldn't have helped. Today I was the one with open arms. What does that mean? I suppose I should take it quite literally, just stating that, you know, she was there for Clarice. She had open arms for Clarice. But I really don't know. Oh, there's more, my bad. Justine, age 9. Today I played with the slides from Father's lightbox. Above all, I like the man standing to the right. Father asked why. I said he sees things he likes. Today I was the right one. Okay. Oh, she's referring to the... I'll need context for that. I'll come back to this. He sees things he likes. Justine, age 10. Father said I picked the wrong slide yesterday when I made the chambermaid cry. He wanted me to pick the one with the sword, while I picked the man on the right. I would never pick the one with the sword. Today I was the one kneeling. So she's been doing this for 3 years? Justine, age 11. Today Father came for me in my room. I still couldn't look him in the eyes. He said I shouldn't feel ashamed and that I only tried to fill the void left by Mother. When he wasn't looking, I took the star stone from his collection. Today I was the one with the sword. My heart dropped reading that. I'm picking up the wrong thing here. I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. That's implying an implication that I'm not happy with, to say the least. It definitely appears Justine may be a victim of abuse. I need to have a look at these slides that she's talking about. There are 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So she had been doing it for 4 years. I could just be misunderstanding the note. I hope I'm misunderstanding the note. I'll think of that in just a moment. I need to see what's on these slides. Oh, I presume that's where we go after we pull the lever. That didn't happen last time, did it? Obviously you guys can't see my face, but the entire time my mouth was agape. That is freaky. It appears there is something I don't want to see behind that door. Let's start with slide 1 like a normal person. You're kidding me. You want me to use one of my You want me to use one of my tinderbox? Fine. We have a figure of a man standing for the first one. He looks to be standing triumphantly. Man with open arms, and what could that mean? For our second slide, we have a man facing towards the left with a sword. Quite a small one too, no offense. A man kneeling, perhaps begging for mercy, from the guy with the sword. What? It gets even more confusing. This is the guy facing towards the right. I expected something a little more special. Alright, trying to remember everything. There's a guy facing towards the left with open arms, a guy facing towards the left with a sword, and a guy kneeling. Could it be that this guy is averting his eyes from the tragedy behind him, ignoring the fact that someone is about to be murdered behind him? Is, let's see, a previous note. He sees the things he likes. What? Or could it be... Could it be this guy's in front of the murderer, watching him kill? Man, I'm proper confused. So we have a man kneeling, a man with a sword, a man triumphantly standing with open arms. No, not triumphantly. He just has his arms open as he's facing to the left, and now a man facing towards the right? I thought perhaps he was averting his gaze from the tragedy behind him, but... sees the things he likes? Is that implying that he's looking at the travesty? And liking it? This confuses me greatly. And why would it be such a problem to like the one I'm facing towards the right? It's all interesting, but I can't figure it out, I'm afraid. Well, I suppose it's just something to think on.
Who are you? Who's there? You'll burn for this. You'll burn for this.
I apologize, although...
Twisted child.
if I was really sorry, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. I'm doing this for an achievement. I'm kind of am the monster here.
Have mercy.
The fact that they make you do it more than once. Not only is this lever heavy, but even if it wasn't, each pull feels like trying to lift a humongous weight.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, our Savior. King of kings, Lord of lords.
Are you done with your last words?
And he shall reign omnipotent forever and ever.
This guy is very obviously the priest, I'm assuming, from the beginning. Alright, I'm sorry, buddy. Stop this, please. I've had enough. Just get it over with. I mean, I don't even know, like, I don't even know if these people are necessarily people worth getting upset over, but I just simply don't like doing it. Maybe I'm just not smart, but I can't figure these slides out or what they mean. He sees the things he likes. What do you mean by that? The chambermaid cried? Why? Never picks the one with the sword. Did they call this a puzzle box? Because that is very fitting. That is one puzzle I'm afraid I cannot solve. Perhaps I need to wait until I have more answers. Or perhaps I'm just stupid. To anyone watching, I would be most grateful if you could explain those to me. I really don't understand them. I'll be taking a quick little small break here just to make sure I haven't missed anything yet. Alrighty everyone, great news. I have gotten everything I need thus far. Now let's hear this supervillain continue to spout nonsense.
I wonder, is Father David with his god now? Maybe you helped him there. Don't you worry. I'm sure he didn't have a family. He probably wasn't even all that well liked. With the current political climate, I'm surprised someone hasn't killed him already. We can't all be saved. Some don't even want to be saved. Yes, that is a comforting thought. Saves us from trying.
Very interesting. Okay. Alright guys, our first threat. I mean, I guess you could say the first shooter we encountered was our first threat, but God, no, he didn't really seem to care about me that much. He just kind of kept disappearing somehow. This guy, though, he's got an affinity for violence and swearing, unfortunately. So, if you don't like swearing, keep your ears plugged. Because he's got a foul mouth. I'm actually quite hesitant. Oh, I'm rusty. I don't remember how to deal with him. Oh no, I didn't foresee this event. Hold on, I got some hot chocolate here. An odd choice. I know it's very warm weather. And my room is obscenely hot, so there's no reason to be drinking this, but I have it. It'll calm me down. Whenever I take a drink of something, I always have a drink ready while I'm recording. Whenever I take a drink of something, I have to like move my neck, or my head to the right, which contorts my neck, to get away from the microphone. And I'm always worried you guys can, because of the position my head's in, I have to swallow in like a really awkward position, so my gulps are quite loud. I hope you guys can't hear that. Alright, enough delays. Proceeding forth. Commencing fear. Let's just make a guess, right? Let's say he comes in from... Let's say here. Let's say he comes in from the top there, and that's where I have to go. That looks like an easy place to hide, so we'll go into that little place there. Presumably, I'm expecting him to walk out of here and go to the left over there, which will be our chance to sneak past over there. Oh, dear me. I feel tears coming on already. Guys. It feels kind of stupid calling this a no death run, because the rules of the no death run in Amnesia the Dark Descent, I didn't explain it very well. But basically every time I died, I just had to replay the entire game. Fortunately, that never happened. Calling Justine a no death run is kind of stupid because the game itself is a no death run. What do I do? I had to hide in the place with the potatoes. You kidding us, right? Oh, I can't see anything. The giant microphone's in my face. And even if it wasn't, it's dark. Oh, what do I do? I know he doesn't go away. Wait, maybe it's good that there's potatoes here. Use it to our advantage. Oh, I can't see him. It's like the water monster jacked up on all kinds of crap. No, you didn't just use that word. What do I do? I didn't expect him to hear me. The first guy didn't hear me. This guy heard me. And he also uses such bad language. Compose yourself. Panicking will get you nowhere. He's not screaming, he's not running at me. We can direct his attention with the rotten apples. If I quickly throw the rotten apple behind him, he'll divert his attention. Rotten apple. You don't have me. What you have is an apple. You're the apple of my eye, man. I believe we have to run. Ah! Oh. Oh, my heart. Stop it. Stop screaming at me. Oh, stop it. Stop it with the noise. You know, that wasn't... too bad, all things considered. I think I overreacted at the end there especially, but... This game does a fantastic job of making you feel like you're actually in danger. The atmosphere, the monsters, the everything, it's the sound design. And the AI is actually quite good. It's better than the grunts in the Dark Descent and the brutes. At least I think so. They're their ability to hear you and go after you is remarkable. And although I expected him to run at me at the end there, he took his sweet time. I thought he would run at me for ages, so I just thought, oh, maybe I remembered it wrong. But then when I got to the chairs, he started running, and oh, it freaked me out. I didn't expect it. Anyways, ahead of us we have a phonograph. Let's hear what the supervillain has to say once again.
I'm sure you have figured out how it all works by now. Are you enjoying my quips? I think they are quite clever. Not that I was ever much of a conversationalist. Poetry has always been my forte. But I digress. You should press on. It will all be over soon. Also, the police are here. Maybe they can help you.
Yes, you're hilarious. And also, maybe. Oh no, I remember this area. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna close my window. It's getting cooler now. I'm not gonna bother cutting this out, so you'll just start the water for a moment. It appears I robbed you of even the pleasure of looking at water. My headphones moved my mouse. Okay. So, much to my dismay, I actually don't remember how to deal with this suitor either, so... Hooray! Okay, not going over there, not yet. Last thing I want to do is summon the suitor before I'm ready. Also, there will not be a water monster, don't worry about that. The water monster was a dimensional shifter caused by Alexander's screwing around with the orb. Obviously, there is nothing of that sort. There is no orb. This is simply just somewhat... we're being chased by normal tortured people. And while they seem remarkably strong and they're somehow still alive, I do find those things odd. I don't think they're anything too special. They are simply just tortured people that are very mentally unstable. Monsieur Flobel. My name is... Oh! Goodness me! Daniel! I'm quite shocked. This is... My head is... exploding. This is amazing. I'm ecstatic. Let's continue reading this. I want to know what he has to say. Monsieur Flobel, my name is Daniel, a friend and colleague of Professor Herbert. As I have come to understand, you are among his most trusted friends and confidants. Therefore, I shall reveal my predicament in hope you can shed some light on the matter. Earlier this year, Herbert and I set out on an expedition to the deserts of Algeria. While looking for the legendary tomb of Tin Hinan, we happened upon a cavern temple buried deep beneath the sand. In its inner sanctum, I retrieved a stone orb which cracked and split into several pieces. Due to exhaustion, I was sent back to Britain and waited for his return. I have since lost all contact with Herbert, and I find myself deeply troubled by the whole affair. I believe Herbert knew more than he was telling, and that he sent me back to protect me from whatever ancient horror we may have stirred. Interesting, I thought Herbert sent him back for Herbert's sake, but I didn't consider the fact that he sent him back for Daniel's sake. If you can share any insight on the matter, I would be most grateful. Forever in your debt, Daniel. So cool to see from Daniel again. Also, I love how he says, my name is Daniel, even though he signs Daniel at the end. There was no real... I guess there was real need to say that. kind of a dumb nitpick, but still, it's amusing. And also, 1839. I wonder when this takes place. Do we ever know of recent times? Let's see here. 1858. I believe all of this is very recent. So like this newspaper article, this newspaper article is recent, 1858. It's been nearly 20 years since Daniel sent that letter. If we are to believe he was around 20 during the events of Amnesia Dr. Sen, he's in his 40s now. That is if he... depends on what ending you got. But if he's still alive, like if you got the revenge ending and he's still alive and out and about, he's like in his 40s now. That's crazy. Seems Florbell never got this letter. We are not picking that lever up. Because I am so scared, alright. Okay, I think that about covers everything. We need to put our big boy pants on. Or rather, I need to put my big boy pants on and get this over with. No creepy breathing, as of yet. Oh, my throat feels kind of tight. That's a weird complaint. Hopefully you know what I mean by that. I don't think I could do this, guys. I may be overreacting, but if you were here in my situation, playing this level, you'd understand how it feels. Well, if you're innocent and you don't know what's about to happen, then, you know, my heart goes out to you if you're playing this for the first time. Ah, gosh. Laudanum, grant me strength. My heart dropped just at the mere thought. Okay, I need to stop being a baby. Oh. Alright, what do I need to do? Pull the lever, go into the next room, close the door behind me, quickly run for something. I don't remember what I have to run for. You know, people never got anywhere by sitting around and biting their nails. They got around by action. I can't do it. Yes, you can. You can do it. You hear me? You beat Amnesia to Dr. Sen, normal mode and hard mode without dying. If anyone can do this, it is 100% you. You're a legend. Oh. 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 Yes, I paused every time I looked, just to make sure I got to it in time. I'm not a baby. The noises in this game. Stop pausing. Fudge! I almost sweared. The seesaw man went to the seesaw mill to play seesaw. On the seesaws. No, 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 no. It's not even funny. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not cool. It's not funny. Heart attack imminent. Get on the thingy, please. It's not. Please stop pausing. It's not cool. I cannot help you. I have my own problems I'm dealing with. It's not funny in the slightest. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Guys, I'm legitimately shaking. Oh. Great. Oh. Oh. I'm really sorry about the lack of professionalism there. Okay, so to dissect that just a little bit more, that is one of the most amazing chase scenes in any horror game of all time, and I'm really sorry for pausing and disrupting the flow. So, that one was obviously more unstable and just kind of seemed to attack anyone and anything in sight. It attacked that poor guy. Now, it's not too bad when you're going on the evil route and just killing everybody, but in this case, if you were doing it on the good run, then you'd have to save that guy while that's going on. And I've just got to say, I am not looking forward to that. I'm going to have nightmares about that. And I'll probably be doing it tomorrow, if things go well. What an amazing scene.
Inspector Moreau, are you still with us? I'm looking forward to see if you managed to save him or not. I know very little about him, but surely he had a family, don't you think? Poor, fatherless children. But he falls on his own sword. His kind is not meant to come for people like me. Laws are made for cretins. The aristocracy doesn't need to know right from wrong. We are always right.
Yeah, whatever you say. Just don't make me go through that again. Whoa, there was somebody in there. Unless I'm going crazy again, but I'm pretty confident there was somebody in there. Oh. What was Mother like? She was the most beautiful creature to ever grace this world. I can't remember what she looked like, no matter how hard I try. Her beauty was blinding, Justine. We could never dare to change such memory to our minds. We could never dare to change such memory to our minds. It would be too much to bear. Interesting. Interesting that he uses the phrasing, beauty was blinding. That is something that... that is something that she forced a certain somebody to say. Also, they never gave me oil. What was the point of giving me a lantern? It all made sense, he thought. We all appreciate symmetry. Everyone is comforted by the casualty of logic. It gives the impression of a grand plan, and that we may be able to grasp the inner workings of this perfect universe. You see, his wife had died while giving birth to his son. That is why he was able to forgive. His family was just given into the symmetry. My friend, what are you talking about? An interesting way to cope, that's for sure. Herbert, I have contacted the consulate and they said that they will give you permits you need for visiting Algeria. I wish you good luck on your search and that your findings will come at a lower price than mine. I am at loss with my studies. My daughter has become distraught and distant. I did little to control her behavior, yet I believe this very notion of my observation has made her this way. My scientific indifference to our tests has not left her with any indifferent opinion. She finds my lack of reaction disappointing. She judges me, and most importantly herself, by the results of the tests. The reason I have had trouble finding any consistency within her character is because she tries different approaches to provoke me, and her actions only become more and more disturbing. Yesterday I lost myself and scolded her. She was terrified and humiliated. It saddens me greatly to bring my studies to a close without seeing it to an end, but I can no longer justify my research. I have to mend my relationship with my daughter. Perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps Justine was not a victim of abuse. Or perhaps she was. I really don't know. It'll take a smarter man than me to figure all that out. The slides and the whole story with her family. There are definitely bodies in these things that just keep disappearing. I wonder what that's about.
Well done. You have triumphed, conquered my cabinet. I wish I could tell you how you did, but alas, this is a recording. You will have to figure it out all by yourself. Did anyone survive? The doctor? The priest? Or perhaps the policeman? Who was allowed to live? Why? You should really reflect on these past events and consider what they meant to you, what you have learned about your true nature. Father never knew me. He thought he did, but then he was frightened. And nothing was ever the same again. I can still see him, lying there on the floor. He looked so surprised. The star-shaped soapstone stained by his blood fell to the floor with a sonorous thud. Blame me not, for I was but a child. With careful ambition, I dared a smile. Rest in peace, Papa.
It's interesting that her childhood seemed to mostly be a psychological evaluation. And now, in her older age, she seems to be obsessed with psychologically evaluating other people. Once again, I'm gonna visit the old notes. These ones are the most important ones for figuring out her character, I believe. Why the one with the sword? I can... The reason I thought she may have been being abused is because it said, "Today Father came for me in my room." I figured she was being hurt in some way, physically or mentally, but... I think I just took the phrasing a little too scarily. I think Father simply just came to talk to her. Oh, this must be after... Yeah, of course, this is the one where he tries to mend his relationship. So after that, after writing that unfinished note, he arrived here to have a talk with his daughter. It didn't end so well. But what does he mean? Shouldn't feel ashamed in that I only tried to fill the void left by Mother. What does that mean? Whatever it was, she didn't like it. 'Cause she killed him afterwards. This is a very interesting story, and I'll make sure to check out some videos on it, then hopefully next time on the neutral route and hard route, not hard route, evil route, not evil route, good route, which is essentially hard mode. Next time I'm there, I may have some answers for once. I have no idea what this writing means. Perhaps it's simply just mad rambling. I mean, obviously it's mad rambling, but it's either mad rambling with a purpose or without a purpose, and I can't tell.
And so it comes to an end. Now that you have seen what you truly are.
I just want to pause real quick to say, you need to lock that door. Don't forget to lock that door.
You are able to go on and face eternity. Without fear. Without doubt.
Oh my goodness. So that's what it was coming through. Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice the walls closing in. I'm so oblivious. Is that guy still alive? I just came up here to look for a way out. Instead, I got some rather spooky news.
This was the best one yet. So elaborate. It's just too much.
I'm afraid you'll have to speak for yourself.
Get up, Justine.
No, stay! Justine, let me taste you.
I think now that we're at the end, I can finally say. The first suitor we encountered was Alois, the second one was Basile, the third one was Mallow.
It's alright. No one will be coming through that door. It's locked and bolted.
If you don't lock that door, the suitors will break through and kill you.
Such intricate machinery. I can't for the life of me understand why he built this. That's me, isn't it? All covered in chains.
What are you talking about? You saying that's a metaphor for you?
They can't hurt me anymore.
Interesting you say anymore. Though I guess probably not that interesting, it's simply just because they were trying to hurt her before.
I really should keep this door locked.
Yeah, you're right, that's my bad. I don't know why I left it open, I never usually do that.
Mademoiselle Justine, are you down there? Is everything all right?
Of course, Clarice, I'm quite all right. Is everything ready for tonight?
Yes, the goose is ready any minute now. The guests should be arriving within the hour.
Clarice, I know it's a busy day, but make sure to post this letter for me, okay?
Certainly, Mademoiselle Justine. Urgent, is it?
Not really. It's already years late. I just thought they should know. I'm still alive.
I'm sure that was in reference to Daniel's letter. I'm about to pass out. That was incredible. Really scary as always. Justine DLC is frightening. It's frightening in a way different to the Dark Descent, though. The Dark Descent was very subtly scary, relying a lot on atmosphere to chill you to the bone throughout the whole thing. While Justine was much more of a thrill ride. You know, constantly spamming you with noises and scary enemies. You know, you were constantly being chased, or at least it felt like that. Amnesia Dr. Sen, it felt like you were constantly being hunted, but in Justine it feels like you're constantly being chased down. The story is a bit confusing, but I think that's just because, you know, well, I'm stupid, I can't figure it out. I'm not dumb, there's just a lot to figure out, and in a recording it's hard to think straight. So I'll do some more research at the end of this, because it's definitely a fascinating story. The story in the Dr. Sen is amazing, and I'm sure the story in this will be just as amazing. Already from what I've seen, it's GLaDOS. Anyways, ignoring that. From what I've seen, this story is amazing. I just don't fully understand it. But from what I can gather, some big event happened between Justine and her father. I don't know what though, but something big must have happened. And following this traumatic event led to a downfall in Justine's psyche, although it's possible that she was always sociopathic or psychopathic. But whatever event she had with her father definitely made it worse. After that, her father, for whatever it is that Justine did, her father put her under psychological evaluation to figure out why she did what she did, I'm assuming. But after years and years of doing this, it got to... Well, obviously it must have broke Justine, but it would have got to her father as well. And upon realizing what he'd done to his daughter and what he'd done to his relationship with his daughter, he went back to have a conversation and try and mend it. But for whatever reason, Justine attacked him. Now, originally I thought Justine was being abused, either physically or mentally, because of the way that she outbursted and attacked her father in the moment. However, oh, and also the fact that the note stated, "My father came for me in my room." That is Justine's words, and when I read that, I didn't take it exactly as like, oh, her father just simply walked in the room for a conversation. I saw it as like, oh, her father bursted into the room. But, you know, I think I read that with a bit too much urgency. Still, it's possible Justine thought she may have been in trouble, and that's why it may have felt like that. It may have, like, she may have put more urgency in the note than there actually was. There are a lot of other things in it too that I find considerably confusing, but it seems after the events with her father, she became obsessed with psychological evaluation. Either way, that was a fascinating story, and I can't wait to research it more, but for now, this was really, really fun, and I'm glad you guys stuck through to the end. Thank you so much for watching. As always, bye for now.